This is a follow-up to my budget kayak video that I posted. I just wanted to go over a few of the setups that I'm using that I don't think are terribly expensive. And when you're, kayaking under all this junk and getting up into these trees, you're going to be banging your poles around a lot, so I don't find it very important to be spending a ton on poles to bring out here. So I'm going to show you a few of the setups that I use. I've actually got a couple of issues with mine that I think I need to change out, but you let me know what you think. If you'd carry a different setup if you only had 3 poles. So I carry 3 in the kayak, I got mounts for 2 in the back, and I carry 1 in my lap. So you let me know what you think once I let you know what I'm using. I'm out here on a local pond that I fished probably, almost 30 years ago now. As a kid, I fished out here all the time. It's really gotten to the point where it's just completely covered in weeds, and it's been around for a long time. So we're going to see if there's any bass in here. There's a million bluegill, but we'll have to find out if there's anything big enough to take a jig, or I'm guessing a frog is probably going to be the best option because everything else is going to get hung up pretty bad. So I guess we'll find out. This is my Ugly Stick Elite. It's a medium action. Mostly end up throwing anything with trebles on here, obviously, but then I've got it tied up with braids, so a lot of times I'll end up using this for frogs or jigs, which is not exactly the right tool for that, but I like to keep my medium heavy set up with my Texas rigs or my Senkos. So this is the one I'm not certain about. I might have to change this out and just carry 2 medium heavies. I think that's good. Get me more, maybe even go to a heavy for frogs and maybe for flipping. But I definitely like a 7-foot pole. For the kayak, it's nice to be able to get a little higher. But I've tried some 6s. I got 6s at home, and they don't seem to get the same leverage. So this is what I've been working with lately. As a kid in high school, I had a couple Ugly Sticks, which I liked well enough. So when I got back into fishing, I picked a couple up to replace them. I had them both in 6-foot medium spin and a medium bait caster. So I picked up a medium 7-foot in the Elite series and a nice and a 7-foot spinning rod in medium. I think I'm gonna have to switch over to the drop shot here. I was here earlier today with my kid, and that's when I decided I'd come back and just for old time's sake see if there's any fish in here. And I scared up a couple bass out of a weed bed that you could see from the walkway over there, but this is what I was throwing. I don't think that's going to do the trick. Going with something that's called the baby bass color. But like I said, there's a ton of gills in here, so maybe something a little more natural will spark their interest. I'm just casting on the edges of these weed lines. There we go. First cast on the drop shot. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, now he's in the lettuce. Come on. Get out of there. Get out. Is he on there? Alright, so we switched over to a frog. I decided to put the frog on my medium heavy. I've got the whopper plopper on my medium. And that means, as usual, I'm going to end up fishing all 3 poles today. I usually end up trying something, because if I'm not trying something new, then what's the point of coming out? So what I run is I run standard Ugly Stick medium with a just an inexpensive Fluger spinning reel. I got it at Cabela's for maybe $40 for the reel. I think the rod's $40, so that's $80 spinning setup. You can get the combo a little cheaper, but I like this reel better than the Ugly Stick combo. Then this Lose I got on sale at Dick's. I think it was originally in the 130s maybe. Was marked down to 109. I had a $20 off coupon, so I'm less than $100 into this medium heavy. And then the casting ugly stick that I got is a medium. So they're all 7 foot, and I've got that with a piece of fun torrent reel. I saw that on Amazon for about $40. I saw a few reviews on YouTube that were pretty favorable. I've had good luck with the Lewis. It's definitely my favorite. It's also the most expensive, so it probably makes sense. But you know, when you're banging a kayak underneath trees and in and out of everything, I think it makes sense to have a more budget-friendly setup because, well, first of all, Ugly Stick has a warranty on them. But secondly, I'm not terribly concerned about breaking that. I can actually go out and replace that. If I had some super expensive reel and rod setup and I dropped one in the drink, or I ended up putting one into a tree and busting off the tip, I'd be pretty upset. So I like this setup. I'm dragging stuff up and down, in and out of the car. When I go shore fishing, I've got at least 2 of my poles usually, and something's getting thrown down on the ground while I'm moving on and off the bank, so it's definitely reasonable. I don't know if I've caught very many fish off that medium action. I don't throw a lot of stuff with treble hooks, so that medium is the one that I might replace. I figure I throw more items that would be benefited by a medium heavy or a heavy than I do a medium, but who knows, maybe come fall I'll end up throwing more treble hooks. But right now I almost would rather be carrying 2 medium heavies. I do love that spinning setup with the medium. I got 10-pound braid on there for that drop shot. It's been really good this time of year right now in the gravel pits. Everything seemed to be held. It's just holding. They're holding so tight. All in all, I'm less than $300 into my 3 rods. My kayak setup is $300-400. I do have the Garmin sonar, which brings that price up a little bit. But for less than $1,000, I'm on the water fishing, and I've got pretty much everything that my skill level can handle. Anything else is going to be wasted on me. So gets me out, and I don't have to worry about maintaining a boat. It's a nice thing. I was looking at boats on Craigslist today, so you know how that always goes. I guess the question is, if you could only choose 3 poles, what would you bring with you? I guess it matters on what you fish the most, but I do a lot of Texas rigging. I don't do a ton of treble hook fishing, crankbaits, and I probably oughta, but it medium heavy seems to be that sweet spot. I have missed a couple on frogs because what I think was because of the medium. It's probably just because I'm not good at what I'm doing, but be interested to hear what other people have to say. Leave a comment below and let me know what you'd bring if you could only bring 3 rods and how you'd rig each one of those up. I definitely, like I said, I've been loving this drop shot lately, so I always leave that tied on. Nice. That is a really good fish. That is a toad for this lake. Oh my goodness. I have to deal with this. Look at that fish. It's at least a good 2.5, maybe 3. Is a really nice fish. Holy smokes. Got him on the drop shot, first cast. Now watch, that'll be my only fish of the night.